Hey guys, so I was kind of contemplating on whether to do a video like this or not because I just don't want negativity on my page, but here I am talking about, yes, celebrity and YouTube gossip. I'm only speaking about this and I'm not saying this to be cute. I'm being honest. I really do feel like there's a lesson to be learned in all these situations that have occurred within the past week. I want to say weekend. This has literally been the weekend / week of just exposing people. Like, people just been exposed this weekend, and it was first starting with Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor Swift, the whole situation with that was kind of like, damn girl, damn. Kanye West came out with a song called Fame or Famous, and there's a specific lyric that is talking about Taylor Swift where he says something along the lines of, I feel like me and Taylor Swift could still sleep together, but I could still sleep with Taylor Swift, why not? Because I made that bitch famous. And apparently she was saying how first she said she didn't know anything of that song. They had no discussion whatsoever, and Kanye West said we spoke to Taylor about it. She said she was cool with it, she was fine with it, what have you, whatever. And she was like, there was never a conversation had, and she never knew about the specific lyric, I made that bitch famous. Okay, so I was like, alright, cool, whatever. She didn't know about the song. Come later, I think Kim said Taylor did know about the song, and then Taylor Swift, I don't know if they had a conversation where Kim told her that she had it all on audio, so her PR people changed it up and said, well, they did have a conversation, but she didn't know about the specific line that I made that bitch famous. And I was just like, so which one is it, Taylor? Did you have the conversation with Kanye, or did you not have the conversation? You know what I'm saying? Recently she's kind of been nasty recently, like nasty with her ex-boyfriend, and she's actually kind of been nasty to all her boyfriends, but recently with the guy she spent the most time with, like she was kind of being like nasty with him, and I was just like, why is she ill, Taylor? Ill? What recently ended up happening was Calvin kind of had like a series of tweets just basically saying, hey, listen, you're not gonna come for me if I didn't send for you. That's basically what Calvin Harris said. And I guess that thing kind of squashed, but people were still kind of giving Taylor Swift a side eye, like, girl, you kind of messy. Recently, Kim Kardashian let out a series of snaps basically proving what, you know, people were kind of suspicious about, was that Taylor did know about the song and that he was referencing her in a sexual way. And she was completely fine with it, which is like, how are you going to be okay with a married man with children talking about sleeping with you? Like, that's, I feel like that's worse than him saying, calling her a bitch. She was completely fine with it, and she's like, I think it's a compliment actually, you know. And I was just like, ew, Taylor, ew. Yeah, so Kim came out with a series of snaps just exposing her, and then Taylor Swift went on like this immediate, like, kind of like, oh, you know, I didn't know about that line, and that's what she was focusing on. Like, no, I didn't know about that specific line, I know about everything else. How are you gonna expose me? She's just like trying to clean up after herself. And I feel like the lesson that people need to learn from that whole Taylor Swift situation is the importance of being honest. Just be honest. If you said it's okay for him to use you in the song, then say, yes, I did say that, however, I was not aware of that line, and I really don't appreciate being called a bitch. Just say that, and then people will completely let this go. Taylor Swift has an act for playing victim. That's why I feel like I stopped liking her a long time ago, because I noticed that. I feel like if you have a string of failed relationships, there's no way it's always gonna be them. Some of that shit has to be you. And to make songs to make all your exes look bad, except for Taylor Lautner, to me that just makes it seem like you kind of phony. Like, you, like like, there's always two sides to the story, and I honestly don't feel like Taylor Swift was always the victim. And when people started saying she had this kind of Regina George like attitude about her, I wouldn't put it past her, because I feel like it's very hard to remain humble when people keep telling you, yes, you're the best, you're winning, you're successful. I feel like it's very hard, and I get it, it's very hard. However, what you're not gonna do is play victim. And not just that, she kind of made Kanye West look crazy, because everybody already thinks Kanye West looks crazy anyway. Let me keep playing to the idea of him looking crazy and letting people know that confirming everybody's belief that Kanye West is crazy. Like, she really made Kanye look like a liar, and that part of it all was what really did it for me with Taylor. Like, the fact that she was okay with people looking at Kanye like he's some type of an asshole, and he's yet again attacking poor little Taylor Swift when she was in the wrong the whole time. When people call people out for their bullshit, like people did that, like Kim Kardashian did with Taylor Swift, I think that she really should have just taken that and said, you know what, they're right, I fucked up, whatever, I'm moving on. But no, instead she's still stuck on that bitch famous part. I'm like, girl, let it go. Let it go. We already caught you. So the lesson to learn from the whole Taylor Swift situation is the importance of just being honest. Because it's not fun when people expose you, because then you look crazy. Then you look like a liar. Moving on, the Selena Gomez is over party. That was another exposure of itself, because Selena Gomez caught herself trying to defend her lying best friend. Like, listen, social media is real. Whenever somebody fucks up, especially a famous person fucks up, you should already know people are gonna talk. Don't sit there and act like people shouldn't be talking about this. Like, you're a celebrity. People are gonna talk about you. You should be used to that. However, this girl caught herself trying to deflect the situation from Taylor Swift and have people focus on something that's more important, when you yourself, for reasons I still don't understand, this woman has one of the biggest platforms in social media. You yourself, this woman who has one of the biggest platforms in social media, you don't even use it to speak up against any worldly matter, any worldly issue. I have not seen that girl talk about Pulse nightclub shootings, Black Lives Matter. She doesn't even have a stance on All Lives Matter. She has not spoken up about any injustice, any issues. I think the last thing she talked about was about the whole France situation, when it was like, oh, pray for France. And literally, like, that's all she said. Like, you can't tell people to do stuff that you yourself aren't doing. And that's why I feel like people were really frustrated about her, because this girl will sit there and talk about her tours and little things here and there, but she doesn't talk about anything else. This girl has she's the most followed person on Instagram, and also has the most liked picture on Instagram. You have the biggest platform right now on social media, and you don't even use it to talk about the things you tell other people to talk about. But because everybody wants to talk about how fake your best friend is, you feel like you need to come and be Captain Save-A-Ho and try and save your best friend. Your best friend right now is looking like a lame. Let her have her moment. Let her learn her lesson and keep it moving. The important lesson to take from this Selena Gomez situation is the importance of trying not to be a hypocrite, leading by example, sticking to your word, telling people to do things that you yourself would do. Don't sit here and tell people not to do something, not to talk about your best friend and talk about worldly matters, when you yourself have the biggest platform on social media and you're not doing it. Moving on, I like Selena Gomez, by the way. I think she's a beautiful girl. She's a good actress. She has talent. I'm pretty sure she's gonna have years and years and many years of success. However, this specific comment was fucked up, and on top of that, she called herself, talking about, oh, do you think like a hashtag or something or a tweet is gonna help save lives? Like, bitch, don't play. Because what hashtags and tweets do is create awareness about an issue. You have the biggest platform right now, social media. If you would have hashtagged Black Lives Matter, it probably would have sparked the mind of somebody who read that tweet to also go out and do stuff pertaining to that cause. People, especially celebrities, don't understand the influence they have on people. You understand? If you yourself are passionate about something, it can spark somebody else to have a specific passion about either the same thing or something different. You know what I'm saying? So I was just over it with Selena Gomez. Moving on. The next exposed party was for, I don't know her name, Trump's wife. So she caught herself plagiarizing off of Michelle Obama's 2008 speech for, I don't know, she did a speech. And apparently she plagiarized it, and they're saying that they have the same speechwriter, so the speechwriter plagiarized off their own self, which is also like a crime. Okay. My whole thing with that situation is this. One, it's not important. It's not that big of a deal. Not to me anyway. This isn't news. Two, I think it's very important for people to learn how they speak. If you're going to help your man run a nation or whatever, learn how to speak. Learn how to write. Learn how to do motivational speeches. I feel like this decade or this era of speechwriters to write your speech for you and so you can go up, I feel like it's a little weird. I honestly don't really agree with the whole idea of having a speechwriter. I feel like you have high schoolers who are running for presidency who can really do the whole speech thing without a speechwriter. Why can't you? Especially seeing the fact that Michelle Obama had a speechwriter too. I mean, granted, this is a well-spoken woman. I don't understand why she just couldn't write the speech and say it herself. But if that is true, but if it's true that she did say the speech herself and Trump's wife just ended up copying her, then that is just wrong. And I feel like the lesson to learn from this is probably the most obvious lesson of it all is just don't plagiarize. Come up with your own shit. Like, come up with something that you can say to help motivate people, to lead people. Honestly, I feel like it's not that hard, especially if it's coming from your heart. But I feel like with these Trump people, they're not honest people. They're very surfacey people. They don't really care about real world issues or bonds, family bonds and all that crap. I don't think they lead by that kind of moral. So I guess you need a speechwriter to help you come up with whatever you have to say in order to motivate people. It's corny, but hey, people are doing it. And last but not least, the last person exposed, and I'm talking about motherfucking exposed this week, is Jeffree motherfucking Star. Jeffree Star is a music artist. He's a makeup artist. He's openly gay. He has a boyfriend who is sexy, by the way. But yes, Jeffree Star is really especially popular on YouTube. I found out about him on YouTube. People said he's been like known for years, but I just know about him from YouTube. And I was subscribed to him for like a while, and then the whole racist stuff came out, and I was just like, unsubscribed. Never bought any of his products. Never would have, even if the racist thing didn't come out, because it's just too goddamn expensive. Recently, Kat Von D came out with this like Twitter rant, and then it became an Instagram rant, and then it became a YouTube rant. Just rant all across the board about Jeffree Star and how he's dishonest and how he has yet to pay his logo designer. Yeah, basically that's what it is. And she has chosen to disassociate herself from Jeffree Star, period. She has a lipstick or a liquid lipstick named after Jeffree. She's pulling that down. She is like basically washing her hands clean of Jeffree Star because she says that he has changed. He's not the person that she remembers him to be. Basically, he doesn't give credit to anybody that helped him get where he's at. He literally credits only himself for getting to the top, and she says that literally that's all a lie. As far as makeup is concerned, it started in her living room with him wanting to be a makeup artist or a makeup designer or coming out with his own line, and she said she hooked him up with some of her people, and even hooked him up with a logo designer that she knows to be very successful, and Jeffree Star has yet to pay him. And when she confronted him about it, he basically said fuck off and blocked her and blocked the guy. And Jeffree Star, this is why I believe it, because Jeffree Star literally blocks anybody who critiques him, anybody who has anything opposing to whatever he has going on. He attacked Kylie Jenner for her lipstick stuff or whatever, and I think she fixed it, and now he's like all nice to Kylie Jenner now he's trying to be less of a bitch because people are catching on to the type of person he is. Jeffree Star is not a humble person. He's not. He never has been. I honestly don't think he's ever has been. Now knowing from when he was like 19, 20, looking up all that stuff, I'm like, wow, this guy has never really been all that great. Whether he was rich, poor, this man has literally stayed the same. So it's kind of hard for me to believe that Kat Von D didn't know he was an asshole all those years ago. Like, he literally was always an asshole and always thought so much of himself. That's why he probably went so hard to be a makeup artist. And the thing with Kat Von D, as much as I want to sit here and be like, yeah, Kat Von D, she has a past too. She's not always been that great. Like, wasn't she dating Sandra Bullock's ex-husband, who was kind of like a known racist? Like he said he's not racist despite his Hitler photo, but come on, and I heard she had like swastika tattoos and stuff like that, and he had some. It was like, he was kind of like an asshole, and he was kind of like known racist, and Kat Von D was gonna marry this dude. So for me, I mean, I guess maybe she learned her lesson not to fuck with racist people. But to me, like, she can't really sit there and point fingers at Jeffree Star when she herself hasn't had that clean record, you know what I'm saying? I understand now maybe she's kind of like, listen, you know, I want to disassociate myself with people like that because I've been there before and I don't want to go back to people like that. That I completely understand, and if that's the case, please disregard what I just said. But yeah, as far as Jeffree Star goes, the important lesson to learn from this is give credit to where it's due. Like, nobody ever gets to the top by themselves. You have people who are there helping you, molding you, giving you tips and tricks, you know, to get to the top. Give them the credit that they deserve, because not like any celebrity, I feel like every celebrity gets where they are, one, because of their supporters, and two, to the people who helped get them there. You always have to have a team. If you're successful, if you're especially a celebrity, you have a team. So give the credit to where it's due. Yes, most of the work comes from you yourself and your drive, but if there are people who helped you get there, give them credit. So that's all I have to say in this video. This is it for the exposed weekend, whatever. I hope you guys have learned lessons from all of these situations rather than just sitting there and sipping your tea and enjoying it. I feel like there are lessons to learn from celebrity fuck-ups that we can all laugh about, but we can all say this is why we don't do that shit, because look what happens. You get exposed. This is why you gotta live an honest, humble, plagiarized-free lifestyle, because when you get exposed, it's not fun. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. If you like videos like this, please thumbs it up and let me know what you think. Subscribe for more creative content and all that good stuff. Also, I am sorry that I am so sweaty.
Come on.